Black Clover's manga has returned and it is fire! We have waited years for Yami to get his devil transformation using balls deep prediction magic. And guess what? We were correct. This new power has made Yami the strongest captain in the series, as he destroys Lucius and Morgen, whilst people like Siscolion are struggling with Morris. But that's not all. Yami meets his sister after 16 years, giving us this emotional reunion. But, what's he gonna say when he finds out Ichika is part of Asta's harem? Black Clover's return begins with Yami near death's door. In chapter 368, he was facing off against his best friend Morgen, whom apologizes that they can't spend time together. Morgen has been granted the very devil that killed him, lucius, which has granted him dark magic, and in combination with his own light, it's making him unstoppable. However, a small foreshadowing of Yami's comeback is placed in this fight, where Morgen states that Yami is the one person who knows the power of dark magic best. But with Yami being outmatched completely in magical power due to the devil paladin buffs on Morgen, he got sliced into bits, claiming he doesn't need to be a team anymore. Like, at least he didn't join the donut club, I'm just saying.
Out of pocket for that. Way out of pocket.
And since this is Black Clover, none of us were really worried as no one dies in this series. Oh right, but did we really care about Jack? Who? But before Yami can die at the hands of his best friend, Nacht and Ichika arrive with Asta's anti-magic buff bestowed upon them, glowing with aura. Lucius then calls them heretics, which keeps with the theme of this arc intact regarding the whole idea of him trying to become a false messiah of the world, as a heretic is someone who has beliefs that are against the principles of a particular religion. Nacht immediately activates Mana's zone to buy some time for Ichika to save Yami. Sukehiro starts pondering if he's hallucinating about his sister, but realizes her key is real. He discovers that Asta is still alive, and the Black Bulls came in clutch to save the world, which makes our captain happy. But with this family reunion, the elephant in the room is addressed. In chapter 347, Ichika begins seeing memories that she couldn't remember, right? Her father was raging due to the lack of war, which is when Ichika learns that he had offered Yami Sukehiro a demon soul pill. This medicine spikes the urge to kill and awakens their dormant Yoryoku, which their father hoped would restore the Yami clan's pride. We learned that the Yami clan are descendants of samurai assassins known as Kijin, who distinguished themselves on the battlefield by protecting the land of the rising sun, protecting the Ryodo family province of the country. And this is what Yami's father wants to restore. And in Japanese Buddhism, Kijin are onis that are so fierce and violent that they are regarded as both demons and kamis such as Yasha and Asura. And this is clearly the case in the manga, as Yami's father states their blood is crying out for violence. But Yami Sukehiro, he turned down the medicine, but their father forced it on Ichika instead, where she goes berserk and, you know, kills the entire clan.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
So for the first time, their father shows a semblance of pride over her. But that's only after Ichika has killed those she loved in cold blood. However, her brother was the one that took the blame and left for the Clover Kingdom, whilst his best friend Ryu and Ichika can create a better Hino country in his absence. This results in chapter 374 showcasing Ichika's sincere apology and a flashback of Yami promising Ryu to visit again, ensuring he will live the life he wants, which of course ends up being his formation of outcasts in the Black bulls. But with time ticking, Ichika offers the demon soul pill to Yami, which Ryu had prepared since he's strong enough now to handle it. Remember, in terms of physicality, Tabata confirmed Yami is the strongest out of every single character in the manga, with Asta being in second place. Now, another reason why Sukehiro is ready to transform is because of the events we all witnessed against Lucifero, as Ryu also saw everything due to his special eye. If you cast your minds back to chapter 323, Yami gained a devil heart, which made his body overflow with magic after the Cliff of Tree ritual. Now, that plotline has been addressed with perfection. Mwah. However, Lucius, being the eloquent troll he is, like, remember when he saluted Asta when he sliced him apart? I like that he has that type of character. Well, he swoops in here and he says hi to Ichika. And bye Ichika. But Yami Sukehiro, being the best bro in the world, he swoops in and transforms. Let's go! He not only states that he shoulders Ichika's guilt, but promises to protect her, slicing Lucius in half. This leads us to chapter 375, where the battle between Nacht and Morgen isn't looking good. Nacht feels deep despair and guilt regarding his brother. After all, he was the cause of his death. If we go back to chapter 263, remember, Rill asked, why would the Dark Triad do something so dangerous and evil? When Nacht remarked that scum who hurt others without a second thought for the sake of their own desire, who feel no sense of guilt as long as they themselves benefit. These are the paragons of that breed. What are they thinking? I don't care. I don't even want to understand it. Unjust evil. They're the type I hate the most. So in truth, he actually hates himself because he's that very definition. Nacht stated he doesn't care if he dies in chapter 285 and continuously throughout the manga for the sins he has committed. Now, what was that sin? Well, trying to surpass his limits. Nacht and his brother belonged to a noble family of Faust. Morgen entered the Magic Knights to save people and was considered a role model loved by many, whilst Nacht only used his magic for himself and was avoided by everyone for his lack of manners. Nacht saw no reason to join the Magic Knights, as he didn't feel he would get any enjoyment out of it, whilst Morgen was on the same squad as Yami. Morgen was basically the moral Jesus of the two, always doing the right thing, which explains why Nacht remembered his brother when he saw how Asta interacts. Now, when Nacht turned 18 years old, his parents wished for him to carry the Faust family, and they revealed what their true practice was. The family were dedicated to study of devils, and they wanted Nacht to continue on that legacy of being knee deep, or should I say balls deep, in knowledge of super satanic shit, bruh. Nacht's temptation far outweighed his fear, as he saw this as something that was just as beautiful as it was scary, and the feelings of spite inside him were absolutely delighted. All his life, Nacht had felt like an outcast, the one that had no place in the world, whilst Morgen fit in perfectly. But now, Nacht finally felt like the one that belonged, whilst Morgen was the one that had no place there in the family. He felt ego, pride, jealousy, and many other sins. So whilst Morgen and Yami defended the kingdom from outside evil, Nacht in almost no time at all had 4 contracts with devils. He was able to control their abilities shockingly well and was called a genius by his father. In time, Nacht's ego had grown and he believed it was time to surpass his limit. He was offered a relic that had relation to Lucius, the very devil that is now inside Morgen as a paladin. But before Nacht could use it, his brother demanded to stop before he made a mistake, lecturing the Faust family on sin. However, at the time, Nacht only saw that as more of a reason to do it, as he loved the thrill of this practice. He fell into desire just like the Dark Triad, for instance, when Dante lectured Asta about the nature of humanity. So Nacht put the relic on, summoning Lucius that ended up killing the entire Faust bloodline and Morgan. Like, bruh, talk about messing up real bad, like, whoopsie. All of this initially explained why Nacht stated he hates the surpass your limits idea and the phrase of the Black Bulls. But at this point of time, Nacht yelled out to God, asking him to save his brother. But he knew it was hopeless. No one would be saving him, having to live with his actions due to having ego, pride, and jealousy. Nacht started to believe he was not worthy of anything, as Morgan told him that one of his dreams was to work with his twin brother. He wanted to save the world and make a difference by protecting the peace with light and dark together. However, Nacht had not seen the light per se and didn't heed to his brother's words. That is why in chapter 375, Tabata has showcased Morgan using both magic attributes as a representation of what could have been. Now let's make this balls deep. The story of Faust is about the idea that humans, even with their flaws and mistakes, can still repent and return to good. Now in Black Clover, Nacht's story ties into this theme in a powerful way, because the devil, the name Lucius, means the one who flees the light. This matches what happens in Nacht's life. Lucius kills Morgan, Nacht's brother, who was like the light in his life. Morgan's name even means morning, symbolizing hope. This mirrors the original Faust story that Tabata was inspired from in real life, where the devil tempts Faust and leads him away from the good in himself. In Nacht's case, Lucius killing Morgan is like the devil destroying the goodness in Faust. The chapter title, The Night Where the Morning Never Came, reflects this idea, showing how Nacht lost the hope and light in his life when Morgan died. So with all of this PTSD, Nacht declares it doesn't matter if it kills him. He unleashes all his magic power against his brother, where a huge constellation of attacks occur. Morgan gaslights Nacht and states he can be set free with the liberation of death by becoming a paladin. But we then move to Yami's new powerful transformation, where Lucius states he never thought he could have this level of strength. Now, of course, that's because of the Asta effect that changed the entire timeline. However, a huge bombshell is dropped. Morgan is stronger than Yami and the Lucius clone? Like, this is a ridiculous statement for the power scaling. Even Ichika states, how did Nacht lose so easily with Asta's anti-magic? Think about it. We know Asta, sharing his power, gave some of the Black Bulls a 2,000-fold increase in ability. Before, they all got bodied by Damnatio with ease at the same time. But after taking Asta's power, the likes of only Magna and Luck could defeat a Lucius clone. But the truth is, Nacht is not using his true power, as he starts crying for the first time since Morgan's passing and feels too much guilt to kill again. Now, just as he's about to give up and die, Yami swoops in to save the day yet again.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Yami doesn't even have Asta's buff yet and is scaling to no diff one-shot a Lucius clone. That means in this new transformation, he would even be able to defeat Lucifero from the past and all the other captains. Think about it. Fugelion never beat the fraud allegations and is absolutely useless. Man don't even have Spirit Dive and did nothing with Salamander. Siscolion had to sacrifice squad members and surpass the limits to defeat Morris. Jack died. Nozel couldn't match Acia. It was Noel that did most of the work as a family. Like, I'm telling ya, Yami is already a candidate to be a wizard king, but he's the type that would never take the job anyway, as Tabata mentioned that Nozel would also be an option after Julius. But I'm gonna be honest, none of us care about that shit. We're just waiting for Asta to get the crown, you know what I'm saying? But Yami's aura is now at an all-time high, boosting Nacht's morale. stating they can't let Lucius defile Morgan's image by allowing such a saint kill innocent lives when he spent his entire life saving them. He reminds Nacht that the real Morgan is dead, and Nacht doesn't have to be all alone as his captain is there for him to fight side by side. We witness a blitzing fight with Yami, clashing swords, declaring his hatred for Lucius. Just like Asta, he can never forgive him for desecrating the dead, swiftly bringing us to chapter 376. Nacht wakes up every day with despair whilst trying to muster courage to help Yami. He launches a dimension slash, but it's blocked by Lucifuge's magic. Morgan glazes Lucius one last time for good measure that he will use light and dark, the magic of creation, to clear the way to an ideal world. Multiple light rays throw Yami off guard as he resorts to his black moon spell to endure, creating a black hole to absorb Morgan's spell. In the end, light shines brightest in the dark. So this combination of magic that complements each other perfectly gives Morgan insane levels of power that are greater than a Lucius clone. He has no drawbacks, having light magic that is the fastest in the verse and dark magic that provides impregnable defense and hacks. So as things pursue, Nacht sees the entire city being destroyed by the hands of his brother. But Ichika doesn't want to be a useless woman like her father assumed her to be, and like in many other shonen, because Tabata knows how to write good female characters. So she states she doesn't want Yami Sukehiro to shoulder all the burden on his own like he did before, as Asta had told her that he's inspired everyone. So instead of being a tragic damsel in distress, she powers up whilst Yami is dodging every light attack, which he states is too fast. But just before he's about to lose, the black star arrives, which changes the trajectory of attacks to save the day. Yami acknowledges his sister's growth and does a combo spell called Black Heaven. This attack creates a black hole that pulls in all of Morgan's attacks, whilst Ichika's orbs change their trajectory to feed into it, kinda like a solar system. However, whilst this intense battle is occurring, Nacht finally gets the resolve to not take the easy way out, combining all his devils into one new transformation that tips the scale in their favor. Yami and Nacht call each other partners. After all, they are the captain and vice captain of the Black Bulls. Before, they were not unified, having their differences, but now the team has bonded together, pretty much being a callback to their childhood days. Eventually, all three of them combine their magic together, which results in Morgan acknowledging Nacht that in their Faust family, just like their parents said, he was the one with the greatest talent for magic. This ends up creating an insane panel where the attacks are flying everywhere. So although we wait long for new chapters, we have to give it to Tabata for making the art even better.
It was perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
But that's not all. The parallel Tabata creates here is awesome in the writing, because now Morgan is the one acting like Nacht of the past who made a mistake. He claims to surpass his limits here and now through selfish means on his own, deviating from his thoughts in the past of Yami that leads to his very defeat. After all, the brighter the light, the deeper the shadow it casts. As a result, Morgan is trapped in Nacht's shadow, with Asta's anti-magic helping, where he pierces him in the chest and says goodbye, shouldering the pain forever. But in this sad moment, it's time for you to watch something more happy. Can Asta beat Boruto? Who is stronger? Find out by clicking on the video.